An in-home estimate, call 866-90-NATION or windownation.com.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, if you're taking Viagra or any other pill for ED, I want you to ask yourself this question. Do I want to continue to do this for the rest of my life? If you're like most men, the answer is no. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we can restore blood flow naturally without pumping your body full of chemicals like you've been doing. Guys, you need to come in today and fix this problem now. Why are you putting this off? Viagra's not going to magically start working next week, and you don't want to use shots or go under the knife. Call us today and speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today like the thousands of men who already have. If you're tired of dealing with ED or Peyronie's disease, then call West Coast Men's Health.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Pacific Power Batteries understands batteries for golfers, batteries for your car, your golf cart, and your bag's electric cart. We also sell good, used, 5-year-old E-Z-Go and Yamaha golf carts with a written satisfaction guarantee starting as low as $17.99. Located in Everett, Marysville, Mount Vernon, Bellingham, Monroe, and Wenatchee, you'll find our staff is well-trained in batteries and the latest charging technology. Pacific Power Batteries, with batteries for golfers.
Lowe's knows every project starts with the right tools and equipment. And during Craftsman Days, you can save big on what you need from a brand you trust. Get a free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select Battery 2-pack. Plus, save $50 on a V20 string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit. Now only $99. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 5/29 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners getting set to kick off their series with the Washington Nationals coming up in just a little bit. They'll send George Kirby to the hill in game one of the 3-game series. Mariners making a roster move as they recall outfielder Jonathan Clase from AAA Tacoma. They send Luis Urias back down to AAA. So making a roster move before this series starts. Other games going on this afternoon will feature the Padres playing host to the Yankees. Diamondbacks and the Marlins get together in Arizona. You've got the Astros and the A's, Angels, Guardians, Rockies, and Phillies who are on a tear get together, as well as the Cardinals playing host to the Chicago Cubs.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This is Wyman and Bob
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710 and seattlesports.com. Happy Friday to everybody. Hopefully you've had a great week. Weather stinks out here, but it is Friday. It's going to be a long weekend for most people, so hopefully it's getting started in the right way, and hopefully the Mariners, Dave, can help that out by winning game one of this series against the Washington Nationals and turn this into a successful road trip. How about that?
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, the split was okay with the Yankees. I mean, I was really excited for that last game just to see if they could get that done, but get the win for the series. But, yeah, hopefully they even everything out and, you know, get ahead a little bit here. Yeah, Washington, I mean, I feel like that's a team that they should be able to win that series, but they're a little bit above 500 now, are they now? So, yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a letdown. I'm starting to expect more from this team. I really expected them to win that series.
Yeah, it felt like once you got the first two that you're going, okay, they're going to get one of the next two.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. But listen, the goal, we talk about it all the time, Dave. And you guys can text in, by the way, 866-979-3776, powered by Mac and Jack's Brewing Company. Very short show today because we will turn you over to the Mariners pregame show coming up at 2:30. So, but yeah, 4-game series on the road. You go in with the idea, we got to get two. We got to split this. And then everything else is, you want to win every game, but let's split the series, mission accomplished. So, Lefko and I talked about it yesterday. It's funny, you could win two and walk away completely happy if they're the final two, because then you've got momentum, you're feeling great going into this Washington series. Problem was you won the first two, then you lose two in a row, so now you're feeling like, the offense is no good, this team's struggling, and now they're going into Washington. So it's a completely different mindset with the same result of a split.
Yeah, very true, very true. And sorry, the Nationals actually not playing good baseball right now. So they dropped 5-6 games below 500, and they're 2-8 the last 10. So yeah, I'm looking at their run differential, they're -21. So maybe this is a team that can be had. And yeah, if they're going to lose one, make it the first one and return home off of a 2-game win streak.
Yeah, so they got the lineups out today, and something you and I have talked about, and Lefko and I talked about this yesterday, and that is, sitting your lefties when lefties are on the hill, and they're facing they're going to face two lefties in this series, and by looking at the lineup today, it appears they're playing the lefty-righty matchup, which I don't love, Dave. I don't love it. You don't have enough hot hitters in this lineup to sit down one of your hot hitters, who's Luke Raley. But he is not in the lineup, so it goes Crawford, Moore hitting second, Garver hitting third, Cal cleanup, followed by France, then Julio, then Haniger, then Polanco, then Clase. Mm-hmm. So that is your lineup for today. Now we'll see what happens with pinch hitting and all that, but I don't know, man. Scott knows a ton about baseball, obviously. Whether you love him or hate him, the guy knows the game. He's lived the game for the majority of his life. I'll defer to him, but on the surface, I'm looking at this going, why? I don't get it. I don't quite understand pulling out a bat in a cold lineup that is hot.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like he hasn't hit left-handed pitching. I'm talking about Raley.
294.
Yeah, it's not that bad if you look at his career even. It's the same thing we see with Rojas, as you mentioned a few weeks ago, Bob. The big difference is the plate appearances. Yeah. He's got in his career less than 100 plate appearances against lefties, 577 against righties, and they're off by he's 224 versus left-handed pitching, and 246 against right hand. But like you said, I'm looking at this. Anybody can look this up. If you go to Pro Baseball Reference, but not anybody can put together a lineup. And so, I guess I'm just going to trust, Scott Service. But for both of those guys, really, if you look at the numbers, you're like, is that enough to sit them, in a left-handed pitching situation? Yeah. Not to me, but I'm not the expert.
Yeah, and listen, they're looking at individual matchups. How does this guy fare against him and their history? Yeah. How many at bats do they have versus each other? And they're getting much deeper into just career numbers. But I'm just, it's more about what the rest of the lineup is not doing, and then you pull out somebody who is doing. That. To me, leave them in there until they prove that. Yeah, you're right. They can't hit lefties till they show that, because the other guys, they're not hitting righties or lefties. They're struggling against both, and they're still in the lineup. So, but in this one, you've got no Rojas, you've got no Raley, you've got no Canzone. So they're facing a lefty in Mackenzie Gore, and that's what Scott's going with there. But,
I'm kind of like you, Bob. I was going to say, I'm kind of like you. I whenever I say something like that, I'm rooting for me to be wrong.
Of course.
Right? You're rooting for Service. And, I was listening, I've been listening to the pregame show almost every drive home, and Shannon or Rick or somebody always interviews Service, and he always says something that I'm like, I did not know that. This guy has actually been in the leadoff spot many times in his career. I didn't know that. So he knows those guys, and he knows their personalities, and he knows what works and the chemistry and things like that. But I think it's a solid point you made. We're looking at just, stuff that you can access, but he's looking at all kinds of different data. And, I think that's that's the difference between him, and I'm rooting for him to be right. But it does kind of bother me to not have Rayleigh in the lineup, especially.
Yeah, and it's not even about an attachment to this is my favorite player and you got to play this. No, it's about who's doing well. You don't have a lot of guys doing well at the plate, and if you do have somebody that is, leave them in there. Let them continue to do well until they're not. So we'll see what happens today, and maybe he'll nail it. I questioned putting Dylan Moore in the leadoff spot, and they moved Rojas out, and Dylan Moore, had a hell of a game that day. So I was wrong, he was right, and hopefully that's the case in this setting here. One of the things we talked about yesterday, Dave, we talked to John Morosi, and this Mariner team is historically at the trade deadline. They don't go big name. We see that they don't do that. They try to find that diamond in the rough or that bargain or that player that used to be good that may have something left, however you want to term it. But it feels like with this rotation, outside of Castillo, they're making nothing in baseball dollars. This is a cheap rotation. This is like getting Russell Wilson on the rookie contract. This is a time you have to take advantage of it, because the idea that you're going to keep all of these guys together, pay them all, probably not realistic. So now is the window. And the question was, is this where you deviate from what has been your norm? Is this where you usually go right? Maybe you go left. Maybe you do go after a big bat. Maybe you do, make that big play for somebody if you're still in contention at the trade deadline. And John Morosi was pretty emphatic in his response to this.
There are very, very, very few teams who, in my estimation, should be more all in at the 2024 trade deadline than the Seattle Mariners. Look at the division. You got the defending World Series champion Rangers, who are struggling a bit, at least by their standards. The Astros are still finding their way. So it's all there in front of you. It's all right there, is what I would say. And yes, they should go for it. And the thing is, too, when your farm system is at least decent, which the Mariners is, you should be able to play on some players that are not just rentals, but actually guys that can upgrade and improve your team for a long time to come. There is probably no clearer textbook case of when to go for it than right now if you're the Mariners. Your rotation, to your point, is excellent and young and relatively healthy, knock on wood. You do not need anything clearer than this. I hope that Jerry DiPoto and Justin Hollander and everybody there are listening carefully to what you're saying.
How about John Morosi? Emphatic.
I was going to say, I haven't heard him that fired up in a long time, man.
Well,
if you would drive in New York with that attitude, man.
Exactly right.
It'd be good.
Oh, we played him that response. He got a kick out of that. But, yeah, I mean, that's emphatic for John Morosi. He was just like, there's no better case for going for it, for going all in, than what the Mariners are dealing with right now.
Well, I mean, the timing, you mentioned the amount of money that they're going to have to pay these guys at some point. But do you also, is maybe the argument for them anyway would be, or if you're John Stanton, it's like, well, just keep doing what you're doing with the pitching. I mean, you've been drafting the right guys and developing them the right way. We talked about the laboratory out at the bullpen. That's been working famously. And, maybe it's just like, well, wait. I guess that would be the argument to not go all in, because I kind of feel like JP, and he got me fired up there. But, yeah, it's a great opportunity. And really, if you want to save, some money in the long run and get, good in a hurry, I feel like it's going to be less money that you're going to spend now than you're going to have to pay these guys at some point, this rotation. So, but I mean, to me, that would be the only reason. If I'm the owner, I'm going, okay, well, why don't you just keep developing good pitchers like we've been doing?
Yeah, you're counting on some luck. You have it.
Totally.
This is a bird in the hand. We've talked about prospects versus proven commodities, guys that, whether we're talking about football or baseball or any sport, somebody who's projected to be this kind of a player versus we know that this guy is this kind of player because he's got this resume.
And he's made it.
Yeah. So you want that proven commodity, and they've got it in this rotation. They've got 4 guys outside of Castillo, again, who are cheap by baseball standards, and I don't know how long this window is going to be open. How long are they all going to be together? How long, how long are they all going to be healthy at the same time? So this feels like if this team is sitting there with a game, 2-3 game lead in the division, or they're a game back, they're in the thick of it in a race for what is turning out maybe to be one of the worst divisions in baseball. If you just look at the records, this is their chance. They could, potentially run away with it if they had even a mediocre offense, which they don't have.
Yeah, well, and I saw, that you kind of talked a little bit yesterday about, maybe this is not a top-tier team, but it's a second-tier team. I think everybody in baseball is looking at the Mariners right now going, and everybody we talk to, look, they recognize this as a golden opportunity. And, we asked D-Row the other day about, where do they rank as far as, in the American League. He said they're number one as far as pitching goes, their rotation. So it's a great opportunity. Like you said, not paying guys a lot of money. Whatever that amount of money is, I feel like it's going to be quadrupled when you sign all these guys. So yeah, hopefully we spend some money at the deadline, or find a good combination from the guys that they have. We talked the promo that was running, we were talking about how, getting good timing, timely at bats, and guys getting hot at a certain point, like Rayleigh. If everybody hits to their best, the numbers on their baseball card, then maybe that's the way they want to look at it. But it kind of feels to me, I'm more in the JP camp.
Yeah, most definitely. Moving on to the Seahawks, OTAs were happening. Got a new coaching staff, got everything's new out there. We've talked about some of the differences, whether it's the music, whether it's how they're approaching this whole thing. And Mike McDonald was talking with the media, and he talked about how efficiency is key. They want to be extremely efficient in everything they do.
Well, I think we had a pretty clear vision about how we wanted practice to go. I mean, we want it to be fast. We want to execute. We want to be loud. We want to get the job done. We want to get the heck out of here. So there's not a lot of lollygagging around. But to make it, again, you don't practice to practice. You're practicing to train to go play the game. So a lot of the decisions that we're making are, inspired by that kind of principle behind the whole thing.
There's definitely a different urgency to the way he speaks about things. And we just got used to Pete, and Pete got used to everybody else, and he was here for 14 years, and there was a looseness. And that's not a criticism or a knock on Pete, because it worked extremely well. They were in the playoffs what felt like almost every year. Super Bowl win, Super Bowl trip the next year. So you can't debate his success. But I think in hearing him speak, you really do see the difference, and maybe just this is a first-time head coach who's, I'm hitting the ground running and I'm taking this very seriously. You hear a different urgency there.
Totally do. It's kind of a JP urgency. We just heard from John Paul. I mean, and if I was him, I would be. He sounds like he's. It doesn't sound stressed out or anything, but he just wants to get after it, man. And they're kind of behind a little bit, right? They started later than pretty much everybody else as far as getting the staffs together and knowing who you're going to be coaching with. And then I just can't imagine how much work that must be for all those guys to install everything and everybody be on the same page. You got a bunch of guys coming together as assistant coaches that haven't coached together. How are we going to handle this? Who's going to have the final say on that? I mean, and then, most importantly is getting the guys out, in the classrooms and out on the field and getting them learning this defense, because, you got to get all that stuff done, because the entire season is always spent reacting to the opponent. You're not out there going through, some kind of you'll review a little bit as far as defenses go, but you have to have that stuff down. And then, it's all about applying it against your opponents and what they're doing and how we're going to adjust to it. So you can kind of definitely sense a little, I wouldn't say panic, but I would say definitely an urgency there from Mike, because, that's, all that stuff coming together is just going to be, it's going to be tough for him. You can kind of hear it in his voice.
Well, we played a clip yesterday where they asked him how much of the defense he's installed to this point. He said about 20%. So they still have 80% they need to get to and get used to it and finalize the roster and make sure everybody knows exactly what they're supposed to be doing and be able to hit the ground running when the regular season comes. So there's a lot of work there, and you can kind of hear that. And he's talking here about how he's working to find out just the best way to coach this particular team.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're having interactions with guys, and that kind of gives you a feel for how guys tick, and what types of conversations you want with who. So, again, it's a process, and it takes time, and there's no magic wand you can just wave, and everybody just gets along, and there's all this mutual understanding about how we're going to operate. We're just like chasing the mutual understanding of what kind of football team we want to be, and it's just this constant chase of what we want. Spoon knows, He's like, well, a couple conversations with Mike. But, yeah, I mean, that's what we're shooting for. And today was a great testament of it about, how we're going to operate as a team.
God, I love Witherspoon.
Spoon
going
knows.
by. He's like, let him hear it, Spoon. Oh man, I love that guy. But yeah, you can hear it once again, and the urgency there. But yeah, like I said, no panic. It's just that, and I just feel good about, when John said, hey, we're going to go try to find teachers. I was like, okay. And I feel like he best fits that role. I mean, he was the guy that I really wanted them to get. And, but yeah, I just think it's going to be interesting to see when we go out there, and I don't even know if there's going to be fans as far as, at the practices and things like that. But, just how they're going to conduct practices, it's going to be interesting to watch the difference.
Yeah, one more here. This is from Rayshon Jenkins. We played a couple cuts from him yesterday, but here he is breaking down how Coach McDonald is as a communicator and a coach.
I mean, the main thing is he's patient. He knows that it's day one, day two of OTAs right now out on the field. And, he knows there's going to be some mistakes, but as far as mentally, but, the effort has to be there, obviously, because that's something like you don't really have to teach, and just little small things like that. But as far as just learning the game, he kind of lets that happen, organically, and not kind of, he's not, you might drop down or go somewhere you're not supposed to, and he's like, you know what, let's learn from it, let's change it right here. You saw it, now then I expect for you to kind of start cleaning it up.
It's kind of interesting that's what it's about. It's about going out and making mistakes, because for pros, if you do something wrong, and you'll never do it wrong again, right? It's something that and most professionals are all about. Yeah, I mean, when you get a guy that continually screws up and just over and over and over again, and I always say that every year. There's lots of players that they don't say this. They're like, we just didn't have room for him on our roster when they cut him, because they don't want to tell you the truth. And a lot of times the truth is, this guy's too dumb. He can't get it down, man. So yeah, that's a big part of it. And it's good to hear Rayshon Jenkins' voice there. And it's a guy that we heard about as far as safety goes, but those are, it's interesting to hear from him and just see what kind of player he's going to be. There's going to be a lot of discovery as far as for this team and for us getting out there and watching those practices.
All right, let's take two.
Earlier today, the Mariners sent Luis Urias down. They recalled Jonathan Clase from Tacoma. And a couple of big series for M's fans to monitor. The Rangers are in Minnesota for 3 games. The Astros are in Oakland for 3. Right now, Tex is 3 games back, and the Astros 4.5 games back of the Mariners.
Kind of feel like by the end of the weekend, by the end of these series, that the Astros will be ahead of the Rangers. They seem to be rolling. The Rangers are struggling, and they've got a tougher team in front of them than the Astros do. So we'll see. And as far as Urias goes, we talked about him yesterday, and I wasn't aware he still had options left, because I was telling Lefko, I think it might have been off the air, but I thought he might be this year's version of Colton Wong or A.J. Pollock or Tommy LaStella, in that they wouldn't be on the roster when the season ended. And we'll see what happens with him. But, yeah, he gets sent down because it's frankly not been good.
Well, I saw in the recap that you made a prediction that came true, right? And that was
sort of.
That was that, right?
I guess, yeah. I was questioning why you would put him in there. He's committed 5 errors in 31 games. He's not giving you the defense you need. He's hitting a .152. He's not giving you the offense. It wasn't happening.
Well, this is a fun little crossover. So Ken Griffey Jr., he had gone to the Indy 500 a couple years ago, mentioned that he was a photographer there, had some fun. So now the Indy 500 is bringing him back. He's going to drive the pace car to start the race on Sunday.
Cool for him. I mean, this is a huge event, man. I don't know about you, Dave. I'm not a big motorsports fan, but I can recognize the huge events. And how fast do these pace cars go?
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, our listeners know. Somebody can text it in. It looks slow, but I don't know. Maybe they're doing 80 miles an hour. I have no idea. But it's what a cool honor for Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, well, it looks like they're just crawling along because those race cars, go so fast. But what's the fastest you've ever been in a car?
Are you asking Matt Nelson or the rest of us?
Well, yeah, we know about your little race. I'm sure you guys get it up over 100.
There could be a cop listening. I refuse to answer that question.
Always 60 miles an hour, Dave. That's where we draw the line, sometimes 61.
I was on I got my mom's POS Toyota Corolla up to 105 one time, and it felt like the doors were going to shake off.
It felt like it was going to explode.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I don't know. Somebody will text it in. I'm curious about the speed of the pace cars. But you got the Mariners and the Washington Nationals coming up. Game 1, George Kirby on the hill. We'll see if you can get things turned around. A reminder, I'm going to be out at the Muckleshoot Casino tomorrow night for Excite Fight. It's going to be some cool fights going on out there. Going to be sitting with the winners. I had their names, and now I don't have that piece of paper in front of me, but I'll be hanging with them. A couple of friends, a couple of former training partners of mine might be out there as well. So a cool night. Always cool to run into listeners. So if you're out there, come on up, say hello. Meanwhile, hopefully when we get back after the holiday weekend, we're talking about a Mariners series win. How would that be? Take at least 2 of these 3. So you got the Mariners, you got the Nationals, 3 games left on this road trip before they come home. Have a great long weekend, everybody. We'll be back on Tuesday with Wyman and Bob right here, Seattle Sports on 710.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
Right now, we are joined by Seahawks receiver Tyler Lockett.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
What has been the biggest change that you've had to adjust to in going from one head coaching staff to another?
I think the biggest thing, man, is just the relationships and understanding the different type of coaching. I mean, obviously it's different, but when you have spring football like this during OTAs, that's when you kind of work through those kinks.
Hear the rest of this interview on demand at seattlesports.com and on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
For over 111 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington. From the Space Needle in Seattle and now all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist you with any lighting issue, as well as help with intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting expert since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
It's time. It's time to see Morris Day and the Time live at Muckleshoot May 30th. Yes, Morris Day and the Time are bringing the party to Muckleshoot Event Center May 30th, and you're invited. Get your tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
You want more speed? Well, you're in luck because Xfinity just increased their internet speeds and they are faster than ever. Plus, with super fast internet and that reliable connection, you can do more of what you love whenever you want. So that means more gaming. So when my son Titus has his entire baseball team over and they're all gaming, no problem. That means more downloading, more video chatting our kids from away. And for the wife and I, yeah, maybe that means more nights on the couch streaming our favorite movies and TV shows every single night. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. And now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or go visit that Xfinity store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with store bank account. Restrictions apply, equipment taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Make the call to 1-800-XFINITY.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Hey guys, do you know your T level?
Revive Men's Health here in Seattle is helping you take that first step toward better health and enhanced intimacy with a free testosterone level test, exam, and consultation. Plus, for this month only, qualified patients can kickstart their treatment with a free supply of ED medication. Call Revive Men's Health Seattle at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
4 down territory, going inside the game with Michael Bumpus.
I like this. More quarterbacks should start doing this.
Every day at 11:15 and 1:15 on Bump and Stacy.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and it was about a year ago that I started Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. April 1st was my first day. By April 15th, I'd already lost 17 pounds. I ended up losing 35 in 8 weeks, and here's where I felt it. I wasn't hungry. I wasn't craving junk food. I had a lot more energy to do things that I like to do, walk 18 holes. I bought brand new clothes. They fit me better, and people were all saying I look 10 to 15 years younger also. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic made and continues to make a big difference in my life, and I know it will for you too. Do you have an upcoming vacation you want to look your best for? You're looking to get ready for summer. You want to be healthy and look your best? EastsideWeightLossClinic.com. It's healthy, safe, sustainable weight loss. Just schedule a free 15-minute, no-obligation consultation right now and take the first steps towards being your better self. Call 425-588-0080 or go to eastsideweightlossklinic.com. I lost 35 pounds. How many will you lose?
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Lexus is electrified, and the first ever RZ450E has the performance and range to get you where you need to go with the exclusive Lexus Direct 4 all-wheel drive technology. Lexus of Bellevue has over 50 RZs available for immediate delivery with electrifying savings up to $17,000 lease cash on every RZ450E. Visit lexusofbellevue.com.
On approval of credit through TFS, lease cash from Lexus available on select 2024 RZ styles. Must take delivery by June 3rd, 2024. A documentary service fee up to $200 may be added to the purchase price or capitalized costs. See dealership for details.
Access to quality healthcare is an important topic. So, let's talk about it. Optum Care Washington is here to make the health system work better for everyone by making quality primary and specialty care easier and more affordable. From Tacoma to Bellingham, you can see their top local doctors at more than 45 locations and get care on your schedule with innovative on-demand services. Learn about healthier care that's focused on you at Optum2024.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. The Seattle Mariners pregame show is on.
Julio Rodriguez with a wide shot, 2-run home run with 2 outs.
Mariners pregame is brought to you by the new 2024 Chevy Colorado, Beacon Plumbing, and by Truce Law. Seattle Mariners pregame. The countdown to first pitch is underway.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Mariners pregame show. Shannon Dreyer coming to you live from the Western Washington Toyota broadcast booth found here in our nation's capital at Nationals Park. This is the final leg of the East Coast swing. Mariners hopped off the train last night, and now they find themselves in D.C. for 3 games. George Kirby and Mackenzie Gore, the pitching matchup for Game 1 tonight. Mariners come into the game with a record of 27-24, atop the West by 3 games. The Nationals, 21-27. In third place in the NL East, 14.5 games out already. Phillies just running away right now. Nationals have been struggling of late also, 2-8 in their last 10. So the Mariners looking to pounce, pick up at least 2, 3 would even be better on this road trip and come home with what you could call a fairly decent, pretty good road trip if they are able to do so. We do have some news to talk about. There was a roster move earlier today. Luis Arias has been optioned to AAA Tacoma. Jonathan Clase is back up to take his place on the roster. Mariners looking to get Arias back on track with a bat. Rick Riz will have more of that with Scott Service in about 10 minutes. First things first, we've got a lineup. Is Jonathan Clase in the lineup as they face the lefty Mackenzie Gore? Well, let's go ahead and take a look. This is what we have got at the top. is J.P. Crawford, and he is the only lefty in the lineup tonight. Mariners are able to do that with all the switch hitters they have and the platoons that they can run out there. Dylan Moore will follow, batting second, and he will be at third base. Scott Service saying earlier today that with Arias out against the tougher lefties, you'll likely see Dylan Moore in at third base. Mitch Garver, the DH, his bat is starting to heat up. He will be hitting third. Cal Raleigh is the cleanup hitter. He will be catching George Kirby. Ty France follows at first base, batting fifth. Julio Rodriguez in center, batting sixth. Mitch Haniger in right. Jorge Polanco in at second base. And there he is. Jonathan Clase will be rounding out the 9 in left field. You know, if he gets on base, they can do some fun things. He is very, very speedy, and we like that. We've got a good injury report for you. Wanted to let you know that Taylor Saucedo, he got the job done in Tacoma last night through a perfect inning, and I have a feeling he is on the way here right now. Scott Service in his pregame comments said he could rejoin the team in D.C. There's not a lot of time to do that, so I wonder if he's not too far off. But we should see, it sounds like, Saucedo in the next day or two. Also saw Gregory Santos out throwing today with a trainer and with Trent Blank as he is trying to stretch things out and bring it back in and kind of get back on that track to where he could get out on a rehab assignment. Still no date for that, but he continues to work, and now we can see it now that he is with the big club. The injury report is brought to you by Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center Proton Therapy. Learn more at fredhutch.org/proton therapy. That's fredhutch.org/proton therapy. Got a fun show coming up for you. It's been a beautiful day in Washington, D.C. It is hot and humid, as it always is. I don't think I've ever been here on a day without humidity, but we were all able to get out today, and this is a real fun city to get out, so maybe we'll talk about that a little bit. You'll hear a little bit about that from a player. Dom Canzone is who I interviewed for The Insider. We've seen him do it offensively. We've seen him do it defensively since he's returned. And today he hit the town, saw the sights. He'll talk a little bit about that and what it has been like coming back from that shoulder injury. That comes your way in about 25 minutes. On the round table, hey, we're seeing changes. They are doing things differently. We've seen Julio dropped in the order. We saw Arias option to Tacoma. We're going to discuss what that means for the club now and what they are hoping to do as they make some moves offensively. We'll have the picks versus Rick and much, much more. But coming up next, Rick Riz does sit down with the skipper. We're just getting started here. Stick around as we continue on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Baseball fans, Muckleshoot Casino Resort is always a home run. With the best games, the best restaurants, and the best rooms and luxury suites. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Bigger, better, and still the best in the Northwest.
Muckleshoot. At Global Credit Union, members benefit, like free checking, because why pay a fee to spend your own money? Early payday, your paycheck up to 3 days early with direct deposit. And member care, with branches near you and a 24/7, 365 U.S.-based call center, where you'll always talk to a real person. Free checking and no monthly maintenance fee only apply to core checking accounts. Other fees may apply. Join us at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, proud partner of Seattle Mariners Radio.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Fred Meyer, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Fred Meyer worth it every time. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
I'm Rick Griffin. I was the head athletic trainer for the Seattle Mariners for 35 years. I found out I had prostate cancer on opening day 2017.
Rick took charge of his treatment.
I had a friend who had prostate cancer, and I saw the side effects, and I thought there had to be a better way.
He chose Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center Proton Therapy.
It was much easier than I thought possible. If I had to recommend proton therapy, I absolutely would.
Rick chose Proton Therapy. Find out why at seattleproton.com.
The countdown to first pitch continues with the Scott Service Show.
Presented by BECU.
Well, Skip, the long road trip continues tonight here in Nationals Park, opening game of the three-game series with the Nats
tell us a little bit about another roster move prior to the ball game today. Luis Urias down and Jonathan Clase is back with the ball club.
Yeah, we decided to make a move there and send Luis Urias back to AAA for a little bit, and hopefully, get the bat going some. And certainly, he didn't play a lot in spring training on the arm issue there, and then once the season got going, he started to get it going a little bit, but just the consistency hasn't been there. So hopefully it gives him a chance to kind of regroup, and hopefully we'll see him back soon. In the meantime, we'll give Jonathan Clase a shot, and certainly you'll see him out in the outfield against left-handed pitching. We will put Dylan Moore at third base to start off, and we'll see where the game takes us as the bullpen and the matchup stuff plays in. But I'm looking forward to getting Clase back in there. I think, what he can do on the bases and as far as creating havoc and things like that, I'm looking forward to seeing. Hopefully he gets on base tonight.
Skip, the Nationals at 21-27 on the year. They've lost the last 2 and 8 of their last 10. They've got former Mariner Jesse Winker on that ball club. What's the latest on this pretty young ball club?
They are young, and they've played much better. The thing that's been most notable is their pitching has really improved. They've made a big emphasis on throwing strikes, and they've gotten way better. I think they're second in all of Major League Baseball in pitches in zone, and it's helped out. Their bullpen throws really hard. They have guys with big power arms down there, so it's not going to be an easy series at all. They're young guys. They have cooled off a little bit after getting off to a hot start, and we know Jesse Winker very well, and Wink's having a good season for them so far. So it will not be an easy series, but it's a series we got to get back in the winning side of series, and finish up this road trip on a positive note.
Skip, George Kirby going for your ball club. Propped up early in the ball game. His last time out against the Baltimore Orioles, 5 runs in the first 3 innings. He said he didn't make enough guys uncomfortable. What does he have to do in the early part of the game tonight against the Nationals?
Well, again, the young Nationals team is very aggressive, and I think he's got to get all of his pitches working and get him mixed in early in the game. George is predominantly a fastball pitcher. He's got an elite fastball, and he throws a ton of strikes. So teams tend to get super aggressive against him, and if you're not just on point coming out in the first inning, they can jump on you, and that's what happened to him a little bit over in Baltimore. Hopefully he can rectify that, and running a few fastballs inside does get him uncomfortable. So George is ready to go tonight. I look for a good one out of him.
You played a long time in the big leagues. What pitcher made you uncomfortable during your time in the big leagues?
There's a lot, unfortunately, but it is part of pitching. You got to have the hitters, they start leaning out of the plate, and when they get comfortable knowing that you're going to be around the plate and that ball is not going to brush them back at all, then start getting their A swing off too often. So George needs to do a better job of combating that.
You split the 4-game series with the Yankees, Skip, winning the first 2. What do you want to take from that series into this 3-game series with the Nationals?
Yeah, it's a good question, Riz. I thought the first couple games in New York, we hung in there. We kept the games tight, trying to giving ourselves a chance to put an inning together, and we did. And I thought in Game 1, we came out, we were able to come from behind to beat their closer. Game 2, Demo had the phenomenal game with the 2 home runs. We kept adding on runs as the game went along. That's what I'm looking for, just that tenacious, stay after type offense. We had Nestor Cortez on the ropes a little bit and couldn't take advantage. And yesterday, that pitcher threw a really good game, man. Skill is having a heck of a year. He's got good stuff. Sometimes you got to give the other team credit, and that's what happened. That's over, Riz. We got to look forward to this one. Really want to win this series. Let's end this road trip on a positive note.
What do you got on Mackenzie Moore, big left-hander for the Nationals? He's pretty good.
He is good. He's got good stuff. You can see fastball 93 to 97. He's got a good breaking ball. He's got changeup. He's a young guy that's kind of coming into his own. He's starting to figure it out. So, again, tonight we got to get on the fastball. I talk about it a lot. You're going to get some fastballs to hit. Let's stay on time. Hopefully get a few up in the air, and they end up in good spots for us.
Talking about getting on the fastball, Skip, Dylan Moore has been hitting the ball hard down the left field line, a lot of extra base hits. How has he been able to hit it that hard and keep the ball fair down the line?
Yeah, Dylan's really made some nice adjustments. He really started in spring training, but his approach is really good. He's swinging at the right pitches. He knows the pitches that he can handle, and he's not afraid to take a hit to the opposite field as well. But his strength right now is pulling the ball. He's keeping the ball fair. That means he's going after it the right way. He's not getting out around it and hooking stuff down the line. So we need to keep him in a good spot. Demo's been going great. We need everybody to pick it up and continue to contribute throughout the series.
Sounds good. Good luck tonight. Opening game of the series.
Thanks, Riz. I appreciate it.
Yeah, a lot there with the skipper. The Scott Service Show is brought to you by BECU. As a credit union, BECU's co-op business model means better rates and services. Walk in like you own the place, because you do. Shannon Dreyer alongside Rick Riz, Dave Sims, Gary Hill right behind us, and he is in a perch in a loft above us in this broadcast booth. I think we've got a little bit of extra time today, so we might just dedicate that to the broadcast level of Nationals Park on the round table coming up. And I know who's teed up for this one. You might be able to hear him chuckling in the background right now, but this will be home for the next 3 games. Mariners and Nationals getting set to go here at 6:45 local. That'll be 3:45 back home. Mariners looking to get back on track and avoid their 3rd straight loss. Probably don't know this. They've gone 40 days without losing 3 consecutive games. That is the longest active streak in the American League. So they, without a doubt, have been doing some good things. As for what's coming up the next 2 days, your pitching matchups, Logan Gilbert and Trevor Williams to square off tomorrow. That is a 1:05 start back in the Pacific Northwest, a 4:05 here, kind of one of those odd, awkward ones. And then in the finale at 10:35 Pacific, you will see Brian Wu and Patrick Corbin. So another lefty there. You're going to see a lot of righty bats the next couple of days here for the Mariners. Coming up next, we are starting to see some changes. You got to that 40-game mark, that 50-game mark. Now things are a little different. We are going to address that and more as the pregame show continues on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
I call myself a confident backseat driver. Mom, brakes, please.
Gotcha.
But I'm less confident in the economy.
Same here, buddy.
Thankfully, Les Schwab Tires helps make sure that our safety never takes a backseat, even when we're watching our wallets.
Roll into summer. Save up to $200 instantly on a wide selection of tires and wheels. Les Schwab Tires. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. Details at leschwab.com/sale.
We're live after the Mariners game. Coach, once a base runner's aboard, how do you bring them home?
Well, we're really focused on stealing bases. Fresh steals mean free AM/PM fresh baked cookies and a 12-ounce slim Coca-Cola, plus the chance to win a Mariners VIP experience. That's it. If you need me, I'll be at AM/PM.
AM/PM. Too much good stuff. Proud partner of the Mariners. Only 1,000 deals available per game on the AM/PM app for 24 hours through September 19th. Only at participating AM/PM store while supplies last. VIP experience sweeps, no purchase necessary. See rules at ampm.com/official rules.
For over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has been solving problems for business owners. However, the needs of our customers and potential customers have changed dramatically over the years, so we've changed too. If you run a business and want to find out how Pacific Office Automation can help improve your business processes and costs, call us today to request a free workflow audit. Whether it's managed print services, IT services, or data security, we're here to help. PacificOffice.com. Problem solved.
Baseball began in the mid-1800s in Cooperstown. While Fireside Home Solutions doesn't go back that far, they have been around since 1985. Stay cozy all year long with their wide range of fireplace options. From gas to electric to wood or outdoor fireplaces, Fireside Home Solutions always brings the heat and knocks it out of the park. Round the bases and check them out at firesidehomesolutions.com or stop by one of their 4 showrooms in Bellevue, Auburn, Tacoma, and Portland. Make memories and love your home with Fireside.
Yakima Nation Legends Casino Hotel is your summer oasis for fun, relaxation, and riches. Every Thursday in May, enjoy Home Run Riches for a chance to win up to $26,000. Enjoy a scenic drive from the west side to your new favorite destination. Stretch out in the spacious rooms and enjoy a delicious buffet. Then take the elevator down for entertainment all through the night. Catch a show or test your skill. Coming this summer, the brand new spa, Legends Casino Hotel, within winning distance.
The idea of owning a home felt like a pipe dream.
That's BECU member Leandra talking about her home buying experience.
So we went to BECU where I met our mortgage advisor, Lauren, and she was like, this is what we're gonna do. This is how you buy a home.
As a not-for-profit credit union, BECU helps members find the right home loan to meet their needs. Learn more at becu.org/home loans. BECU, power in people. Equal Housing Opportunity Lender, NMLS ID 490518. Members were compensated for participation.
Howdy, partner. The first Mariners Fireworks Night is coming up, and it's going to be a boot-scootin' spectacular. Join us on Friday, May 31st for a post-game country music party presented by T-Mobile after the team squares off against the Angels at 7:10. This is blasted out of here! Watch out all the way up top! Cal Raleigh with a go-ahead 7th inning grand slam! Break out your Stetson and your Spurs and visit Mariners.com/fireworks to get your tickets and catch 2 great shows for the price of 1. Plus, check out the complete list of all 8 Mariners fireworks nights and can't-miss giveaways coming to T-Mobile Park this summer.
Ball game! Julio! Rodriguez gets it done! Yes, sir! And the Mariners win it!
Mariners baseball. Giddy up and try dance up.
Mariners pregame continues with a roundtable.
Presented by Miller Lite.
Welcome back to National Stadium here in D.C. Shannon Dreyer joined by Rick Riz, Dave Sims, and Gary Hill for the roundtable powered by Miller Lite. Got some good news here. There was a rain forecast originally all 3 days. Said early in the day, but you didn't feel good about that. It's all been pushed off until Monday. So our rain episode, well, I guess we had it in Baltimore, will also be limited to what we saw yesterday morning, which was still that was some of the most that was one of the more fun moments of this season off the field so far with the whole team involved. It's just looking out in the courtyard, seeing everybody standing under different umbrellas, and then the real hard stuff coming down. It was something. Dave Sims and I were smart. We stayed. We were waiting for the bus, and all the players went out, and there was a courtyard, and they had the little tables with umbrellas, and they were sitting there waiting, and it was pleasant for about 15 minutes. And you had your infield umbrella table. You had your outfield umbrella table, Cal and Luis Castillo. And, your catcher and your pitcher over at another table.
The announcers.
The announcers were at another one. Dave and I hung back. We were in still just right outside the lobby under cover. And about 45 seconds before it all came down, somebody apparently was tipped off because Gary Hill saunters over from the broadcast table. Was there for 45 minutes, and then just all heck broke loose with the rain.
That's called luck.
We were fine when the rain was coming straight down, and then it went sideways.
Then when everybody came running.
Sudden, okay, the umbrella's not working anymore, okay? Well, we joined you guys, right in front of the hotel.
Did you guys hear what happened to Ryan Divish?
No.
So that hit while he was walking from the subway to the stadium.
Oh, geez.
And the clubbies actually had to give him, I think he had shorts and a T-shirt from a workout in his bag. So they had to actually throw his clothes in the dryer with the morning stuff. It was something. But, that's just some of the fun that happens on some of these trips. It's if it's just you that's getting caught out in the rain, it's not fun. If it's absolutely everybody, it's kind of fun to see. And that was kind of the precursor to yesterday's game. We're not going to see that here in D.C., which is great. We have not been coming here on a regular basis for a long time, but I do think this is one of the favorite stops.
Well, the pilot just told us to fasten our seatbelts and gave us the emergency, spiel because we're about 20,000 feet doing this ball game today. When I first walked in, I remembered that, it was way up there, but we're up here with the lights off to our right. And the 5 balls that look different, pop-ups, are they out of the ballpark or not? So it's kind of strange being this high to do a ball game.
I was talking to the radio announcers for Washington, and I said, I remember being here the first time. There's 2 apartment buildings beyond left field weren't here. I told Mike I was on TV the first time. I said, hey, reach out so you can touch the Capitol Dome. I mean, that's how high up we are. I mean, it's just unbelievable. The other thing, too, when you're this high on the play-by-play, you got to wait an extra beat to 2 beats to make sure because the depth perception it's totally different. We are way up. We're good. This was a building, what are we, 7, 8 floors up? Easy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is well up there.
Yeah.
Gary Hill is nobody. Everybody is below you. There is nobody.
In the building.
You're the tallest in the building. Nobody has a higher seat than you do in this entire building.
Exciting. I can see the whole field, which is a rarity.
Yeah.
So I'm not complaining at all.
Hey, Gary, do me a favor. When the space shuttle goes by, just say hello. Right?
Just wave. Just wave. It was funny because somebody pointed out, he's like, well, I heard the Rangers Stadium was pretty bad, too. And this is reversed because the press box is below you guys. And I'll go ahead and say that the press box in Arlington is higher than the press box here. Mm-hmm. But the broadcast booth, I think, is higher here than in Arlington.
No question. And I used to think Pittsburgh was high. Pittsburgh is as bad as it is compared to this.
Well, it's good news that we're not in the old building because there would be a very scary catwalk involved if we were that I wanted no part of. before to get to the broadcast booth there. You had to walk across the old
Right, good
building,
point.
and
Good
that
call.
was terrifying.
I don't
You
like the sound of
basically-
that.
Yeah, you probably wanted like a belay line or something with you if you did that. You just didn't have it. Just not good. So good on them for building a new building. All right, we're seeing moves. We're seeing the Mariners do things right now. You know, we've seen Julio Rodriguez dropped in the order. We saw Luis Urias option today. What are they hoping with that, Rick?
Well, just to take a little bit of pressure off, Julio eventually is going to be Julio, hopefully real soon. We know what he can do the last 2 years in All-Star, Silver Slugging Awards. Just to go out there and, see a fastball and jump on it. Keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes dropping down in the order really helps by relieving some of that the pressure. You're looking for a number of guys still to get going. Dylan Moore has been red hot. It was great to see Luke Raley get red hot for about a month right now, but they're still waiting for guys to get going. And sometimes when you go to the bottom of the order, you go, okay, I better get things going.
Mm-hmm.
Look for a fastball, look for my pitch, put it in play with authority, and hopefully these guys will get it done tonight.
Yeah, I want to add to that everybody, here's the thing, I want to counter that just slightly. Everybody knows that this is a good fastball hitting team. We've seen spin like crazy, and I think we're going to see a ton of spin for the time being. So the one or two fastballs you're going to get at night, you better get it.
Yeah. And Scott Service pointed that out today. Sure, you're not going to get as many, but you're going to get at least, we're going to see at least 35% fastballs. You just can't miss them. That's all there is to it. And they are continuing to work and really pound home those messages that they have about zeroing in on those pitches. And Gary, it seems like it's almost, they don't want to lose their identity of who they are. They have to fight through and get to it.
Yeah, I think that's right. And these moves are designed to try and we're at the stage of the season now where it's about production. I mean, that's where they're at offensively. And if you have the hot hand, you're going to be in the lineup. If the matchup is favorable to you, you're going to be in the lineup. I mean, part of the reason Julio moved down was to get him going. But the other side of that is you've got Dylan Moore, who's been great, and the number 2 spot is incredibly important to your lineup. And so Dylan Moore's batting second. I mean, because there is somebody you can put in that spot. Early in the season, they had fewer options because they didn't have guys really going, right, early in the season. It was Cal and Rojas, and that was basically it. Mm-hmm. Now you have a few more options because there are guys that are cooking a little bit. So, put Dylan Moore at the top and ride this thing out, see how far this goes, because he's been legit great, especially on this trip.
Who's somebody that you think is maybe nearing that corner right now? Anyone?
That is a good question. I think I might go with Ty France.
He's had big hits.
Yeah, there have been a couple. Not strung together, but he's had a couple a moment here, day off, moment here. That could be one. I mean, and that big knock he had the other day, game 1 against the Yankees, goes the other way, hits game-winning hit, hit the big home run. Hopefully that's the start of something big.
What should Ty France be at this point? I know that when he first came up, he was a 300 type candidate the way he had, but there aren't really 300 players anymore. I wonder how that has played into what Ty France is.
He's a contact guy, should be a contact guy. To hit the ball up the middle, hit the ball the other way, middle in, pull the ball. Use foul line to foul line. When you do that, you have a chance to get the average way up there near 300. But I think he's a 280 hitter at least. Mm-hmm. He learned from one of the greatest hitters of all time in Tony Gwynn. His approach was hit the ball hard off the top of the center field wall. If I'm a little bit late, it's right field. If I'm a little bit early, I can pull the ball. He's the kind of hitter that should put the ball in play with authority, and I think he'll get there. I think he's that type of hitter.
Shannon, you make a great point about no 300 hitters because that's 100% right. There was 6 last year. I always feel like we need to readjust how we think about 300 hitters. I mean, the average is what, 240 right now?
Yeah,
so 240.
So back in the day, if you said a guy was batting 250, it would be but 250 is above average. Yeah, 250 is legit.
Yeah.
And 280 is really legit. That's
right.
That's a great average in this modern day. So I always feel like we have to kind of adjust how we think about offensive numbers, especially right now, just given how hard hitting is.
let me throw this one out to you guys. Do you see a time where guys will not be trying to hit the 5-run homer, particularly on 2 strikes, that they'll try to put it in play hard? I mean, Rick, I know you and I, we kick that around all the time. Might that come back into fashion?
I hope so. I think contact has got to be king when you're throwing 100 miles an hour. You got to put the ball in play, figure out when you see a mistake, you jump on those. There was just a story out about guys trying to make adjustment, slowing down their bat speed by a couple of miles an hour to try to reach those pitches. But there's more than that. It's about an approach, to put the ball in play with 2 strikes. It's about letting the ball travel a little bit more. It's about hitting the ball up the middle and hitting the ball the other way besides slowing down your swing. And again, I go to Edgar Martinez. I talked to Mike Blowers at dinner before the ball game last night. I said, what did you do with 2 strikes? Let the ball travel, hit the ball to right center field. Edgar said he would shorten his stride, quicken his swing with 2 strikes. And because I know I got to put the ball in play.
I think that's so much harder to do right now, though, in Major League Baseball, because the stuff is so much better. I think that's so much easier to do when it's 90, 91 miles per hour as opposed to 95, 96, 97 with movement. JD talked about that the other day, I thought, Shannon, with Julio in particular, like letting the ball travel too much.
Right.
And not hitting it with authority.
He's got to get out front, and he's got to be anticipating.
Because that's where you do. That's where you do your damage.
Part of the game for a lot of hitters is you've actually got to guess a lot more, I think, right now and take more chances.
We talked to Mitch Haniger about this, a long conversation, which is great. And he used the word. He didn't like the word guess, which I don't blame him on. But he talked about picking your spots because you can't.
Yes.
You cannot be ready for everything a guy throws, and you just have to pick a spot. Or pick a pitch and go after it, but you get locked up sometimes if he lands that slider that you had thrown away, and that's part of what hitting is right now because you can't be ready for everything a guy throws.
You got to look for a spot and jump on that pitch.
Absolutely, and that's what they are definitely teaching. There's no question about. Guys, are you seeing what we're seeing out in the outfield right now? They are meticulous in getting this field ready.
Kudos.
The grounds crew, about 6 of them, are all some are almost on their hands and knees picking up things out of the grass. You got one guy with a vacuum and everybody else is...
Got to get him in my house, Shannon.
I don't think I've ever seen this before. I think they're getting every sunflower seed right now out of the outfield grass.
Up there wearing gloves.
I hope there's no problem out there. Oh, that's... Thanks, Dave. All right.
You said it. I had to finish it off.
Absolutely amazing. There will be no gum on the outfield as this game starts. I can tell you that right now. Good roundtable, guys. The roundtable is powered by Miller Lite. Miller Lite is the first and original light beer with more taste and only 96 calories. When it's game time, it's Miller time. Coming up next, we'll hear a little bit about the hitting conversations that the Mariners are having and more when I sit down with Dom Canzone. You're listening to us on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Summer is here, and with a new Toyota, you've got more all-wheel drive and electrified choices than anyone else, including the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through June 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on any remaining new 2024 Camry or Camry Hybrid with approved credit through TFS. Or be the first to drive the new all-hybrid 25 Camry. Now arriving at your Toyota dealer. A dealer doc fee of up to $200 may be added. Get details at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
When the hot water needs to be hot, when the drain needs to drain, when the toilet needs to flush, you need to do 2 things. Stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. On call and there when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Hi, I'm Monica, Retail Director at Blazing Bagels. With over 4 billion sandwich combinations, give or take a couple, and 35 bagel flavors baked fresh every day, satisfying your appetite is as easy for us as a 1-2-3 inning is for the hometown 9. Our staff will scoop up some cream cheese, toss it onto your favorite bagel, and relay it off to your taste buds. 1-2-3. Visit us in Redmond, Bellevue, Soto, the U District, and our newest location in Issaquah. Go Seattle and go eat a bagel.
Corona Extra and the Seattle Mariners are giving fans the chance to win the ultimate MLB All-Star Week experience in Arlington, Texas. Prize package will include 2 tickets for the Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, round-trip airfare, 2 nights hotel, and swag bags. Head to CoronaMarinersSweepstakes.com to enter for your chance to win. Corona is the official cerveza of your Seattle Mariners. No purchase necessary. Open only to legal U.S. residents residing in Alaska, Hawaii, Idaho, Montana, Oregon, and Washington. 21 or older. Void where prohibited. N615. See official rules at CoronaMarinersSweepstakes.com.
Swinomish Casino & Lodge is the perfect destination for your next getaway. Wake up to stunning views of Padilla Bay. Head to the casino floor for exciting slots and table games. Relax and recharge by cozying up in the lodge. and end your day savoring the delicious flavors of the Pacific Northwest at the award-winning 13 Moons. Come stay and play at Swinomish Casino and Lodge, where you can explore it all. Must be 18 to play.
You gotta love baseball season, but when it comes to your windows, you don't want any curveballs. Rick Riz here, reminding you to trust your clubhouse with locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Experience the difference with high-quality products, expert installation, and top-notch customer service. It's always a home run with Pella. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Just go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Hey fans, Optum is here. As the official primary care partner for the Seattle Mariners, they're proud to be caring for the home team and keeping Washington healthy. Optum delivers highly rated primary and specialty care from top local doctors at more than 45 Puget Sound locations. From OBGYN and family medicine to surgery, orthopedics, and gastroenterology, they'll cover all your bases with exceptional care. Optum is here for you. Learn more at OptumIsHere.com. That's OPTUM is here.com.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues. This season, spring into adventure together in the Chevy of your choice.
See your Northwest Chevy dealer.
Looking to take your business to the next level? With Home Street Bank's flexible lending solutions and over 100 years of experience, you can swing for the fences with confidence. Learn more at homestreet.com/homerun. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, all loans subject to approval.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. This is Mariners pregame and the inside perspective. Here's Shannon Dreyer with a Mariners clubhouse insider.
Here's Dom Canzone, the pitch on the way, and a swing and a drive. Straight away center field and deep. Judge going back, going and going. It is gone. Goodbye, baseball. Dom Canzone right up the middle out to Monument Park here at Yankee Stadium. Canzone with home run number 4.
Oh, yes, Dom Canzone doing good things since he came back from the IL earlier today. I sat down with him. We'll get to the good things, but first good thing, he had a good day today in Washington, D.C. Here's that conversation.
Yeah, it was good just to see all the history stuff, and my girlfriend's super into that, so we made a couple trips this morning.
Did she make all the plans?
Yes, she did, for sure. I was sleeping while she was up and making the plans, so she was in charge of that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, because it sounded like you hit a bunch of different places, which is not an easy thing to do, so a big thumbs up to her.
Yeah, she did a really good job.
Awesome. Okay, so now we get in here, and you've been back for a little bit. What were kind of some of the things that you had to see to know that you were good to go?
It was more just get a couple games under my belt and in the rehab starts and make sure I wasn't feeling any more pain swinging. So that was mostly the biggest thing for me. And then once that was good to go, I just kind of let them know that I was ready, and they trusted me on that. And then the rehab team in Arizona did a great job of getting me ready. So it was a quick turnaround.
What were you able, and that was remarkably quick for that kind of injury. What were you able to do, without swinging a bat or with only half speed swinging a bat to keep sharp?
A lot of running and a lot of just throwing and making sure didn't have to worry about any of the defensive side of the ball. So I was able to throw the whole time, and I was able to run the whole time. So the only thing that the AC joint was really restricting was just the swing.
Okay, and how long did that take you to feel comfortable?
To swing, I didn't swing for probably the first 2 weeks, and then I swung about 2.5 weeks in and felt pretty terrible. Then I got a cortisone shot. Then after that, it was pretty much good to go, and I started swinging, and it'd get a little achy, but kind of fight through that.
Did you use the Traject at all when you were down there?
I did not. I used it a little bit. I didn't swing off of it, but I tracked it a little bit, but that was about it, just because they got some of the Traject's hard because if you don't have like the softballs, and it'll definitely break your bats because it's really hard to tell spin. So I was more just taking instead of taking hacks. But it's good for just even just seeing live pitching.
And they packed up the softballs after spring training, apparently.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So if they would have had the softballs, I would have been full go on that thing. But without them, I'm out.
All right. Next time, pack the softballs.
For sure.
Actually, no next time. Let's not do that
No
again.
next time.
What's your memory of that play?
Oh, gosh, it kind of just happened. It was such a weird play because when you're kind of going towards the gap in the left, you can feel the warning track underneath you, but you really can't, especially when you're trying to concentrate on the ball and you're going full speed. So it's tough in the left going towards the gap because you don't have your arm to kind of put out and feel for the fence. So that was kind of the hardest part about it. It was kind of just a bang-bang play, and I've gone over the scenario a bunch in my head on what I could have done differently, and the only thing I felt like I could have done differently is just miss it and not get hurt. So it was just, it was tough because, I don't want to just let up on the wall and let a double or a triple go by. So stuff like that in baseball just happens, and it's just unfortunate.
You've been playing, I know that we talk about your bat, and we haven't talked about your defense very much, and we've seen some brilliant plays in New York. 2 diving plays in one game is something that we don't see very often. Who do you kind of, when you were kind of growing up as an outfielder, who do you kind of look to as somebody that you really like to watch?
I loved Griffey. He was definitely my favorite player growing up, and he was always diving all over the place. So just being able to lay out for the ball and try to make a play and help your pitcher out is everything. And obviously really appreciate all the appreciation Wu gave on the mound, and we just try to do stuff for each other out there and help each other out.
That was a fantastic moment when he kind of went nuts after that. He's a fun one to pitch or play behind, it seems like.
Yeah, no, he throws a lot of strikes, and he can roll through some innings pretty quickly. So he's a great starter for us, and he's done a great job so far this year.
Offensively, we love what you do at the plate, and we've had some conversation of you've made a lot of adjustments. You've made them, physically and also kind of mentally and approach-wise. Where would you say with the approach in particular are you at? I know that there's new terminology and you guys are all doing things a little bit different with the square and with the tunneling and things like that. Where are you with that?
Yeah, and you try to take bits and pieces of that and what'll help you individually. And for me, I'm just trying to stay to who I am. I definitely got to be a little bit more patient up there and not getting a ton of heaters in the zone, which is understandable. So just got to make an adjustment, be patient, and try to get something up.
And an adjustment for you, what is your kind of second option if you don't have that heater?
I can hit the off speed. It's just more so like getting off the heater a little bit and kind of slowing myself down and being able to take a heater, even though it might be a good hittable pitch, and more like playing the percentages would be a better way to put it.
All right. And what do you understand of those percentages now that perhaps you didn't before?
Well, that I have a scouting report, and it's that I can hit the heater, and I can struggle with the off speed at times, especially when I'm not looking for it. So that it's honestly just knowing yourself too, because other teams scout you just like you scout other teams. So you got to know what your strengths and weaknesses are as well.
And when do you come to a great understanding of that? It's all a process, and it's layer upon layer upon layer of what you learn and who you become as a hitter. Where does that part come in?
It's just reps in the game, and when they start spinning you into the ground game after game, that's kind of when you understand, hey, I'm not getting heaters anymore, so maybe I should look for something else. So it's just adapting.
Lastly, with the work that you do with the Mariners, who's kind of been most instrumental to helping you kind of become the best version of yourself that you could be?
Everybody's just helped in their own way, which has been everyone's been so welcoming since I've got here. But just from, I guess, an overall standpoint, I'd probably just say Brownie and JD, just from an offensive standpoint, because that's how you stay at this level. Is you got to hit, and you got to do your job up there and get the next guy up. So that's those two guys have definitely, especially with the whole tunneling thing and helping me this offseason kind of change a few things mechanically has been the biggest part for me with the whole consistency and putting the ball in the air and looking for the correct pitch.
If we were to walk into a hitter's meeting, what would that be like? What's the atmosphere in there like right now, and working with Brownie and working with JD?
It's a lot more loose now. We're in first place, so we're doing a good job, and obviously the pitchers are helping out too, but it's a lot more loose in there, and we're putting some really good games together against some really good teams. We've played probably the two best teams record-wise in the AL, so we're playing good ball and we're playing good teams, so just hopefully moving forward we can continue to do the best we can.
Fantastic, Tom. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
That's just a little bit of a different perspective from inside there. Appreciate the 5 minutes with Dom Canzone. That was the Mariners Clubhouse Insider. The Mariners pregame show is brought to you by Muckleshoot Casino. Bigger, better, the best in the Northwest.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Yakima Nation Legends Casino Hotel is your summer oasis for fun, relaxation, and riches. Every Thursday in May, enjoy home run riches for a chance to win up to $26,000. Enjoy a scenic drive from the west side to your new favorite destination. Stretch out in the spacious rooms and enjoy a delicious buffet. Then take the elevator down for entertainment all through the night. Catch a show or test your skill. Coming this summer, the brand new spa, Legends Casino Hotel, within winning distance. Ever daydream of catching a game-winning pop fly for the Mariners? Visit Funco headquarters in Everett to enter for your chance to participate in Pop Fly with a Catch, presented by Funco at T-Mobile Park on select dates. If chosen, you'll win 4 tickets to a home Mariners game and a chance to catch fly balls in the outfield. For each pop fly you catch, you could win unique Mariners and Funco Pop prizes. To register, scan the QR code at the Funco store located at 2802 Wetmore Avenue in Everett. Good luck and go Mariners!
Hey Mariners fans, KeyBank wants to meet you in that I need new Mariners gear moment. When you open a qualified checking account and meet certain requirements, you can receive an official Mariners KeyBank fan kit, which includes a Seattle Mariners jersey and other team merchandise, so you can rep your favorite team all season long. Don't miss out. This special offer ends October 25th, 2024. To get started, visit key.com/Mariners or a KeyBank branch near you. Geographic restrictions may apply. KeyBank member FDIC.
Low to moderate income individuals and families can benefit from the annual Working Families Tax Credit from the Washington State Department of Revenue. If you made less than $63,000 in 2023, you could get money back on state taxes you already paid. See if you're eligible and learn how to apply at workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
If you haven't heard by now, SeatGeek is the new official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Seattle Mariners. So whether you're buying or selling tickets to Seattle Mariners games, SeatGeek is the #1 destination for all your ticketing needs. But that's not all. If you're looking to score tickets to other events at T-Mobile Park or events across the Pacific Northwest, SeatGeek is the place to do it. From baseball to ballet, hockey to hip-hop, find it all on SeatGeek, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Seattle Mariners. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Mariners seats.
Now, your Star Rentals Sports Desk update.
Robo Umpson 25, not so fast. Commissioner Rob Manfred admits technical issues with the system that is being tested in the minors could slow the process. He said they haven't made as much progress this year as they had hoped. This update is brought to you by Star Rentals, the preferred supplier to the West contractors. Find one of their 18 Pacific Northwest locations at starrentals.com.
You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Welcome back to Nationals Park here in Washington, D.C. Absolutely beautiful evening for a ballpark. The entire, well, no, actually the right side of the stadium is still in the sunlight. It does get toasty here, but it's going to be a pleasant evening all around. It'll be a much even more pleasant evening, actually a perfect evening, if the Mariners come away with a W. How are they going to do that, Rick Riz?
They're going to score some runs. It's a warm night here in our nation's capital. Ball's going to fly out of here. Wind's blowing out to left field. And Mitch Garver hit the ball hard in that series a couple times against the Yankees in New York. He's going to hit the ball hard tonight into the bullpen out there in left field for his 6th home run of the year. Mitch Garver is going to be my pick to click.
We saw a rarity in that game. He hit the ball that I believe was a double. That would have been a home run at T-Mobile Park.
Yeah.
It would have been a home run in 6 different ballparks. T-Mobile Park was one. Usually it goes the other way, but that was one of the ones where he missed the home field.
Yeah, we saw Aaron Judge hit a home run to right field that would have been an out in every ballpark except that one.
Yes.
Shannon, you said W. It's important that it's not a curly W tonight. So let's just put that out there right now. I'm sorry for all the fans that sent in really good picks. Aaron Goldsmith gave me one that I just could not pass up.
Okay. We'll allow it.
He said that Jesse Winker will misplay a ball that will lead to a Jonathan Clase inside the park home run.
Oh,
and now you see why that's a pick I could not pass up.
That is a beautiful pick right
Yes.
there. I think we can go with that. Yes, Jesse Winker is on the other side and enjoying some success this year. I have a hunch that he will not have a tremendous amount of success in this series. We shall see. I'm not picking anything, and I certainly am not picking anything that is on the other team. But, it's going to be an interesting series, I think. All right, that is your picks versus Rick from Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. When plumbing problems throw you a curve, call a plumber. So Jeff Plum. Thank you, Dave Sims. Call a plumber who bats 1,000. Beacon Plumbing, your home run call 24/7. Stop freaking. Call Beacon 1-800-FREAKIN. All right. We are thankfully getting ever closer to that 3:45 first pitch back in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. When we come back, we're going to get you up to date on all of the news, notes, and lineups as the pregame show continues on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
There are trucks, and then there's the truck. GMC Sierra. Not just any truck, the truck. Well-qualified buyers get 1.9% APR for 36 months on GMC Sierra light-duty models. See your Northwest GMC dealer. Monthly payment is $28.16 for every $1,000 you finance. Average example down payment, 15.0%. Some customers will not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 6/3/24.
Jim Zorn here for All City Fence. I've learned early on that All City Fence brings real value to every project. And to me, value is more than just fair pricing. Things like safety and security, quality products fabricated, built, and installed by talented craftspeople that take pride in their work. Everyone at All City Fence draws on their experience, talents, and work ethic. For more than 70 years, All City Fence, allcityfence.com.
Hi, Rick Riz here. Do you need a new roof but aren't sure who you can trust? Call 3 Tree Roofing. A proud family-owned business, 3 Tree Roofing brings meticulous attention to detail to every roofing project. From your initial phone call to your free on-site estimate to the installation itself, you'll appreciate our outstanding value and unmatched craftsmanship. So call 3 Tree Roofing at 206-312-ROOF for a free roof replacement quote. That's 206-312-ROOF. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
The EQC Sportsbooks at Emerald Queen Casino is where you can bet, watch, and win on all your favorite sports. Now with the Bet EQC app where you can place bets while games are being played. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
For reaction to today's game, tune in to Bumpin' Stacy, weekdays from 10 to 2.
Do you really believe that they can do something special this season?
I would say this is probably the most optimistic I've been about this squad.
On Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey Mariners fans, my name's Michael Graham, and I'm an oncology nurse at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. When I first began my career 6 years ago, my goals were to care for those in need and help people return to their best health. Virginia Mason Franciscan Health has provided me the opportunities, relationships, and growth to have a successful career and make a difference in my community. If you're considering a job in healthcare, please visit our careers page at vmfh.org. Go Mariners!
Over 13,000 people in the Seattle area are homeless. Connie is one of many who found a new life through Seattle's Union Gospel Mission.
I smoked crack for 30 years. One day I was panhandling when God showed me the way to the mission. Today I'm clean and sober. I'm 65 years old and I work at the mission. No matter what age you are, you can start a new life at the mission.
And grace will lead me home.
To hear more, volunteer, or donate, visit ugm.org.
Calling all drivers.
Here's why Polestar 2 is called the driver's EV. With all-electric performance and a range of up to 320 miles per charge, Polestar 2 has the power and handling to change your perceptions of EV driving. But the best way to find out for yourself is a test drive. Visit Polestar Bellevue to test drive Polestar 2 today. 320 mpg range based on model year 24 Polestar 2 long-range single-motor variant and EPA standard. Visit polestar.com for full details.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCUA.
You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Welcome back to the pregame show. Shannon Dreyer coming to you from the Western Washington Toyota broadcast booth, perched high atop the stadium here in Washington, D.C. We are so high that you can actually see some of the sights from here, which I guess is a positive, taking something good from that. I am a little bit worried about a walk-off interview and being able to see you guys, because I'm pretty sure I won't be able to hear you because we're too high for the radios to work. And at that point, somebody might have to stand up and wave something from the booth, because I am as blind as an umpire. But we'll figure that out. We'll have plenty of time to figure that out.
We'll shout out your name.
Shannon!
Go!
Gary, I'm really concerned about the structural integrity of this. Okay, this Gary is on like something that's like kind of scaffolding behind us, and he's like 5 feet up, and it's disconcerting when he walks up there. The whole thing sounds like it's going to fall over. Okay, we're going to get away from that. These are our problems, not yours. We'll take a look at what is going on around the rest of baseball with the Chevy Colorado scoreboard with 5 unique trims and available Turbo Max. Do you guys want me to bring you snacks? I mean, you guys are so far away from anything. Do you need anything up here? Do I need to help you?
I'll text you.
Okay. All right. You know where I'm at if you need anything during the game. Turbo Max engine, the 2024 Colorado, is your powerful and performance-ready partner. So as we are on the East Coast, not much going on as of late. I'm trying to see if you're right. Dave, fill people in on what's going on with that Cubs and Cardinals game. That is.
I like the fact that Joe Buck and Chip Carey, of course, Jack Buck, Harry Carey worked together for years. I don't know if they liked each other, but they worked together for years. There were some issues, but the kids don't have a problem. Let's see, Chip is the grandson. Joe Buck is the son of Jack Buck.
Yeah, that's.
And somebody Joe was on somebody's show, and I saw the tweet in the Twitter X. Somebody says, accused him of, hey, you only got your job because of your father. He says, you're darn right I did.
Take the help wherever you can get it.
It's like, yeah, and?
Yeah, I'm going to have to tune in and listen to a little bit of that, too, as I have, as a child, many, many Cubs and Cardinals series did I watch or listen to, or that. I just think that's a neat thing that they're doing. So that
guys.
away from here is the highlight for me tonight on the scoreboard. Gary Hill's going to keep you up to date on all the scores during the game, and we will give you a full recap on the post-game show after what I hope is an absolutely stupendous, resounding win by the Mariners, led by the offense and Mr. George Kirby on the hill. As for what is coming up, the offense, they are kind of loading the righties in there. Just one lefty tonight against the lefty Mackenzie Gore, who has been quite good this year. J.P. Crawford, he is the only southpaw you will see in the lineup, followed by Dylan Moore. He's at third tonight. Mitch Garver, Cal Raleigh, Ty France, Julio Rodriguez, Mitch Haniger, Jorge Polanco, and Jonathan Clase rounding out the 9. If you're joining us late, yes, there was a roster move. Luis Arias has been optioned to AAA. Jonathan Clase is up in the lineup in left field, and hopefully on the base paths tonight, because that very well could be a very good thing. That is your Mariners lineup. As for the Nationals, C.J. Abrams leads off at shortstop, Eddie Rosario in right field, Joey Meneses, the DH, Luis Garcia Jr. at second base, Jesse Winker in left field. And I said earlier he was off to a good start. He has cooled off significantly. He's hitting .226, 6 home runs, 21 runs batted in, but he's kind of been one of the major pieces of their offense this year. Keibert Ruiz behind the plate, Nick Senzel at third base, Joey Gallo batting .126 right now is at first base, and rounding out the 9 in center field is Jacob Young. Then we were just looking at the coaching staff, a lot of familiar names and faces on Dave Martinez's staff. Miguel KIRO is the bench coach. Darnell Coles, the former Mariners player and former Mariners fantasy camp coach, he was my coach there once, is the hitting coach for this team. Worked wonders for me. Jim Hickey, the pitching coach. Gerardo Parra is at first base. Ricky Gutierrez at third base. Then an old favorite for the Mariners, wasn't with us very long, but Felix Hernandez in specific really liked him. Henry Blanco is on the staff as the catching coach. Ricky Bonas, Chris Johnson, and Sean Doolittle, a pitching strategist here too, also spent a little bit of time with the Mariners, of course, with the A's for a long, long time. So a lot of familiarity on the other side in that dugout. What's on tap is powered by Miller Lite. Fans, it's almost game time, and game time is Miller time. Shed the day, grab your friends, and crack open an ice-cold Miller Lite. Well, if we haven't done enough right now in this pregame show, Aaron and Gary have got the rest covered. That comes up next as the pregame show continues on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. Rick Riz here. When considering a Volvo, people should come to Sandberg Volvo in Linwood for a great experience and state-of-the-art dealership. They've got an incredible selection of new and pre-owned Volvos with every make and model available, and Sandberg Volvo is the only Excellence Award winner in the entire Pacific Northwest. Come enjoy valet service, free towing, and lifetime warranty on parts and labor with any service visit. You'll come in as a friend and leave as part of the family. Visit Sandberg Volvo in Linwood or SandbergVolvoCars.com.
Miller Lite is the light beer brewed for people who love the taste of beer. For those who are always the first to volunteer for beer runs, who hit up tailgates for sports that they don't even like, and believe having a beer fridge in the garage is non-negotiable. It's a 96-calorie, 3.2 carb love letter to beer lovers who know that the best part of beer is the beer part. Tastes like Miller time.
Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin beer.
Searching for a divorce attorney who doesn't play games? Consider a collaborative divorce with Truce Law. Keep your family out of court, minimize stress, and save thousands of dollars.
It wasn't a war. It was more of coming to a resolution that was amiable for both my ex-wife and I. He was really able to bridge the gap, and we came to an agreement that we could both live with in the end.
Sometimes the best way to win is to call a truce with Truce Law. TruceLaw.com.
When you're on the pitch clock and don't have time for your favorite Seattle sports shows, listen to the podcasts on demand. How about that? Unbelievable. Who would have thought? Every hour, every interview, every look behind the scenes.
Scott Service is with us. The expectations are very high. I love all of that.
It is clear it was the right decision to keep your pitching staff as whole as possible.
Find us on SeattleSports.com, the Seattle Sports app, or wherever you get podcasts.
My eyes have been opened. What can I tell you?
Never miss a minute of Seattle sports. The home of the Mariners.
Hi, it's Trevor Noah speaking to you from inside a giant birthday cake. Why, you ask? Because Smirnoff Ice taught me the power of an epic surprise. Whether it's a brunch or happy hour, plan your friends a surprise they will never see coming and never, ever forget. And make sure that surprise includes some delicious Smirnoff Ice original. Long story short, that's why I'm recording a Smirnoff Ice ad from inside a giant cake. That surprise looks exactly like me. My friend's gonna be like, oh, Trevor came to my birthday brunch. Surprise! Trevor is a cake. Surprise again. Cake is Trevor. You gotta keep your friends on their toes, people. Please enjoy responsibly. Smirnoff Ice, premium flavored malt beverage. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York.
Do you know about McClendon Hardware's installation services? For nearly 20 years, Puget Sound homeowners have counted on McClendon Home Services. Their licensed, bonded, and insured professionals do it all, from installing windows and garage doors to water heaters and more. This month, come in and deck out. McClendon Home Services is offering 20% off Trex decking with pro installation. Now's the time to upgrade your home at a significant savings. For projects large or small, trust McClendon Home Services. Give them a call at 1-888-404-4647. See store for details.
You'd like a new or almost new Chevy, but you're waiting for Fed Promise finance rate reductions? Marry the rig. Date the rate. While selection is best and price is dropping, find that special new Chevrolet now, and then simply refinance when rates get lower. Plus, get warranty protection for life and oil changes for life included with every qualifying new Chevrolet. Marry the rig. Date the rate. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that. Together, let's drive.
Sunset Chevrolet.
Looking for a great night out? Snoqualmie Casino's just the place to go to unwind and have some fun. It's Mike Salk here. Only 30 minutes from Seattle, Snoqualmie Casino's got it all. Lots of exciting table games, tons of slots, sports, restaurants, entertainment, plus the views, too. Come check out the breathtaking views of the Snoqualmie Valley and Mount Si. So no matter if it's checking out sports with your buddies or a date night, make sure you're checking out Snoqualmie Casino. Go to snocasino.com for all the details. It is Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino. Please game responsibly.
You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
It's the Mariners pregame show. Aaron Goldsmith alongside Gary Hill here at Nationals Park in our nation's capital, the District of Columbia, Gary.
Washington, D.C.
That's where it all happens. It feels different here, doesn't it? It feels different.
The heartbeat of American democracy? Is that what you're saying?
I'm going to work that into a call.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you saw a presidential motorcade today.
I did. It was very exciting. I just kind of stumbled into it. I was just standing on the corner with lots of other people, just waiting to cross the street, doing nothing, and then 24 Secret Service swarmed in. All of a sudden, the street was closed, and there goes the motorcade. It was pretty great.
And it shut off your Bluetooth device.
Yes, it did as it went by, which was also pretty great.
Never have you been so happy that your technology failed you.
Whoa!
Yeah,
amazing.
You were a part of something big time.
Yeah.
You know, the Nationals they're an okay team.
Yeah.
They're an okay team.
Yes.
Not a bad team, not a good team. They're an okay team. Mariners have seen nothing but the best teams in the American League over the last week.
Yes.
There's no question. The Orioles, followed by the Yankees, is a pretty beefy entree for any team on a road trip, let alone
especially the way they're going right now.
Yeah, especially when you're going all the way across the country for it. I would say, you know, the Mariners are I think they're in fine shape. Good shape, I would think, would be having a winning record right now on the road trip. But I'd say they're in fine shape, given the fact that if you take this series, you got a 500 road trip.
Yeah, and going into this road trip, that is what I was kind of hoping we would end up seeing. Because, hey, obviously you want to win every game. But I think being realistic on where Baltimore was, where the Yankees were, what this trip is like, this was going to be really difficult. And it's been really difficult, and they've held their own for the most part. But, yeah, having a 500 trip I think would be really great heading back home.
It's been interesting when you try to, I guess, give a report card for the Mariners over the last week and the lineup and the lack of production we've seen against opposing starting pitchers.
Yeah.
It's been really bleak, right? I mean, the Mariners have not had the most orthodox ways of winning games on this road trip, to put it mildly. And I think it is difficult for all of us to kind of gauge, all right, well, how much of this is they've just faced some really top-end starting pitching, and then how much of it is, yeah, they wanted to do this, but they did that, and it didn't work out as a result.
That's always the trick, right? Trying to sort through what's what. And if you think about it in a pie, like, what percentage was it heel? What percentage was it the Mariners? It felt like watching heel yesterday. A large percentage of the pie was heel in particular. But you're kind of trying to sort through that as you watch the offense against starters. And, you know, you look in this series, and they'll have opportunities to put up numbers, that's for sure. Mackenzie Gore has been pretty good, though. That's no gimme. I do think it's fascinating to watch the kind of lefty row that they'll be facing the next handful of days, including coming back home and just seeing what that looks like with a lot of right-handed bats that will get some run here the next few days.
And I think I think most hitters would agree with what I'm about to say. Like when Corbin Burns blanks you, right?
Yes.
And when Heel, who touched 99, right, and has just got wipeout stuff, when he strikes out however many he did, okay, like those guys have had elite numbers coming into those starts because they've done that to the other teams that they faced.
Yes.
Like you have to beat up on the guys who aren't the guys.
Yeah.
You just have to, because you are. I mean, the hitters aren't saying this, but we are going into starts against the Corbin Burnses of the world saying, okay, if Burns pitches like he can pitch, then you just tip your cap because you can't touch that if he pitches like he can.
Yeah, and then on the other side of it, when you're facing Patrick Corbin, that's a guy you want to get to.
You have to. It's too soon still, Gary.
It is?
It's still too soon. It didn't go well last year against Corbin.
Okay. We'll talk about that more in a couple days.
We call Patrick Corbin's nickname in our booth is Rock Bottom. Well, it all begins tonight. The final leg of this lengthy three-city East Coast road swing, Game 1 here in D.C. on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Mariners pregame has been brought to you by Muckleshoot Casino Resort,
WSECU,
Three Tree Roofing,
and Les Schwab Tire Centers.
Don't go anywhere. First pitch is next.
Add Home Street Bank to your lineup card this season. Whether you're starting a family, buying a home, or nurturing a growing business, they'll help you navigate life's biggest milestones. And they've been doing it with a smile for over 100 years. Look no further than Home Street Bank for all your home loan, personal, and business banking needs. Go to homestreet.com/team. Again, that's homestreet.com/team. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. All loans subject to approval. Looking for a quality win this season? Arco and the Mariners are teaming up to give you a win at the pump and the park. When you spend $50 on quality gas at Arco, bring your receipt to T-Mobile Park Guest Services, and you'll get a $10 concessions gift card. That's a quality win on the road and in the stands. Now for a win on the field, Mariners. Take the win at Arco. Gas must be purchased between March 28, 2024 and October 1st, 2024. Valid at participating locations while supplies last. Full details at mariners.com/Arco.
Coming to the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center, Thursday, July 11th. It's the Grammy Award-winning Brothers Osborne. One of the freshest, most identifiable sounds to come out of Nashville in recent years. Brothers Osborne. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss Brothers Osborne, July 11th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
We're live after the Mariners game. Coach, once a base runner's aboard, how do you bring them home?
Well, we're really focused on stealing bases. Fresh steals mean free AM/PM fresh baked cookies and a 12-ounce slim Coca-Cola, plus the chance to win a Mariners VIP experience. That's it. If you need me, I'll be at AM/PM.
AM/PM, too much good stuff. Proud partner of the Mariners. Only 1,000 deals available per game on the AM/PM app for 24 hours through September 19th. Only at participating AM/PM store while supplies last. VIP experience sweeps, no purchase necessary. See rules at ampm.com/official rules.
Less than 10 minutes from Mariners baseball on 710 KIRO AM Seattle.
Way out of here! Oh, baby!
Let's go live to the ballpark for starting lineups and first pitch. Seattle Mariners baseball starts now. Seattle Mariners baseball is on the air.
J.P. Crawford with another leadoff home run.
Seattle Mariners play-by-play is brought to you by your Western Washington Toyota dealers, Seattle's Union Gospel Mission, Michael's Subaru of Bellevue, and by your local steel dealer.
Good afternoon, everybody, from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., on an 83-degree day. It's absolutely lovely here on the I-95 corridor. We welcome you to Mariners baseball. I'm Dave Sims with Rick Riz, Gary Hill Jr., and Shannon Dreher. Mariners on a road trip. They're 3-4, and this is the first of three here in Washington. Mariners go 1-2 in Baltimore, 2-2 in New York against the Yankees. And they take on a Washington Nationals team with a record of 21-27. And the Nationals currently third place in the NL East. As for the Mariners, as you know, they lead the American League West. They're sixth in the wild card standings, 10th best record in Major League Baseball. And they're up top of this division, and they're not even swinging the bat the way they want to. There's a lot of room for improvement and growth, and the guys have said that all along with the coaching staff. George Kirby, Mackenzie Gore, pitching matchup for us tonight. And when we come back after this timeout, we'll tell you about the starting lineup for the Mariners as we join you on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
They say teachers don't impact for a year, but for a lifetime. Hi, this is Rick Riz. Join WSECU, your local credit union, as we celebrate those who give so much with the Teacher of the Week program. Nominate a teacher you feel has changed a life in our community. Each week throughout the season, we'll honor one teacher with a $500 grant, plus a $500 classroom grant for their school, courtesy of WSECU. Find out more and nominate a teacher at mynorthwest.com/teacher.
Bigger, better, and clearly the best in the Northwest. Hundreds of beautiful rooms and suites, rooftop dining at Smoke and Cedar, and the best gaming in the Northwest. It's all waiting for you at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Muckleshoot.
I'm Rick Griffin. I was the head athletic trainer for the Seattle Mariners for 35 years. I found out I had prostate cancer on opening day 2017.
Rick researched treatments.
I had a friend who had prostate cancer, and I saw the side effects, and I thought there had to be a better way.
He chose Fred Hutch Cancer Center proton therapy.
It was much easier than I thought possible. If I had to recommend proton therapy, I absolutely would.
Rick chose proton therapy. Learn more at fredhutch.org/proton therapy.
I call myself a confident backseat driver. Mom, brakes, please.
Gotcha.
But I'm less confident in the economy.
Same here, buddy.
Thankfully, Les Schwab Tires helps make sure that our safety never takes a backseat, even when we're watching our wallets.
Roll into summer. Save up to $200 instantly on a wide selection of tires and wheels. Les Schwab Tires. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. Details at leschwab.com/sale.
You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Moving ever closer to first pitch action here in Washington, D.C., it's time for the starting lineups presented by Global Credit Union. Here's tonight's healthcare playmaker.
Hi, I'm Danielle Stockwell with Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, and I'm a surgery scheduler at Virginia Mason Franciscan Women's Health, and I worked there for 12 years. This is today's starting lineup for the Mariners.
Leading off, the shortstop.
J.P. Crawford, Palm Beach, California.
That baby stays fair, and the Mariners have a 1-0 lead. J.P. Crawford!
Batting second, the third baseman.
Dylan Moore, Yorba Linda, California, University of Central Florida.
It is fair! It is gone! Dylan Moore with a tracer to left field.
Batting third, the designated hitter.
Mitch Garver from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Goodbye, baseball! A walk-off 2-run home run for Mitch Garver.
Batting cleanup, the catcher.
Cal Raleigh, Florida State University.
That is way up there and gone on the third deck. A grand slam for Cal Raleigh.
Batting fifth, the first baseman.
Ty France, West Covina, California, San Diego State.
Ty France leaving the yard. He pounds that over the wall in left field.
Batting sixth, the center fielder.
Julio Rodriguez from Loma de Cabrera, Dominican Republic. Let's go.
Julio back on it. He's at the track. He's at the wall. He makes a leap, and it's robbery in Baltimore.
Batting seventh, the right fielder.
Mitch Haniger, Cal Poly.
It's driven well. It's driven deep, and it's driven out of here. Mitch Haniger with a 2-run home run.
Hitting eighth at second base.
Jorge Polanco, San Pedro de Macorís.
Home run, Jorge Polanco. Man, did he tag that one.
Batting ninth in left field.
Jonathan Clase from Dominican Republic.
And I'm telling you folks, it was fun watching that Kid Class A run.
And taking the ball for the Mariners.
George Kirby, Ron York, Elon University.
He struck him out. Swing and a miss on a high fastball at 97 miles an hour. And George Kirby matches a career high 10 strikeouts this afternoon against the Minnesota Twins.
And there's your starting lineup for tonight. Let's go Mariners.
Yes, indeed. Let's go Mariners. Beautiful night here. And tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy benefits like 24/7, 365 personal service and no-fee accounts. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, strength in members. First pitch coming up after this timeout on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Rick Riz here for the Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington's Improve Your Play program. Many of our local youth sports teams need help with field enhancements, training, and equipment. Local Pella owners Keith Dashafy and Luke Wilson are stepping up to donate $5,000 to 2 deserving teams. We need your help finding them. Head to seattlesports.com/play to nominate a deserving team in need. Let's help our local youth improve their play this year with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Contest and rules at seattlesports.com/play. Chevrolet.
0% financing. Yes, Mazda of Everett is offering 0% financing. 0% financing available on new Mazda CX-5s. 0% financing available on new Mazda CX-30s. 0% financing available on new Mazda CX-50s. 0% financing available on new Mazda CX-90s. Shop over 675 new Mazdas available with 0% financing. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and click Get the Mazda of Everett price. 0% for 36 months. Available on all new Mazda CX-5s, Mazda CX-30s, Mazda CX-50s, Mazda CX-90s on approved credit.
You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
And welcome back to Nationals Park here in Washington, D.C. on a beautiful Friday night out for baseball. The Mariners and the Nationals getting ready for Game 1 of a 3-game series. Mackenzie Gore on the mound. We are way up here in the broadcast booth. Planes fly lower, landing into Dulles than we're located here. But it's a beautiful ballpark here in Washington. Welcome to Mariners Baseball. Trident's up, everybody. J.P. Crawford will lead things off against left-hander Mackenzie Gore. Gore looks in ready. Here's the first pitch on the way. Fastball for a strike. And we are underway. First pitch of the game brought to you by the Michaels Automotive Group. Toyota and Subaru, 2 great brands, 1 convenient location off of I-90 at Eastgate. Gore 2-4 with a 3.30 ERA. The next pitch swung on a fly ball deep to left center field. Young going back to the 1-inning track, leaps up and it's gone. Goodbye baseball. J.P. Crawford with a home run just beyond the reach of Young with a tall leap at the wall in left center field. J.P. Crawford with a leadoff home run here in the top of the first inning. His 3rd home run of the year. This guy hit 19 home runs last year, and he had 6 leadoff home runs. Well, he's got one right here in Washington, and just like that, the Mariners have a quick, and I mean quick, 1-0 lead.
About a 10-foot wall, cleared it nicely, well beyond the just over the 377 mark in left center field. Great job by JP to get it going.
For a second, I was looking at Young's reaction, but it was gone. Here's the pitch on the way to Dylan Moore, and he takes a look at a strike 0-1. Welcome back. J.P. Crawford came back a few days ago. Now the IL for about 3 weeks with that strained oblique, and then on a rehab assignment was hit on the hand with a pitch down at Tacoma. Next offer to Dylan is a strike, and the count is now 0-2. Well, the Mariners used the long ball 3 days ago when they beat the Yankees in New York 6-3. They had 4 home runs in that game, and Dylan Moore had 2. Here's the windup. The next pitch to Dylan. It's outside for ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody hotter on this ball club than Dylan on the road trip. He's hitting .429 with 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. Gore looks in, rocks into the windup, delivers. Fastball, swing and a miss for strike 3. So a strikeout for Mackenzie Gore. 1 out for the Mariners here in the top of the first inning. That'll bring up designated hitter Mitch Garver. David, nice start to the ball game thanks to J.P. Crawford.
And going opposite field, too. I really impressed by that, showing some really good pop.
A little bit of a breeze blowing out to left field, but not much on a warm night here in our nation's capital. The ball is going to carry, and it did. Here's Garver. Hit the ball hard in New York. Here's the pitch on the way, swinging a ground ball to third. Charging is Nick Senzel. He's got it at the cut of the grass, throws the first in time to get Garver, and there's 2 outs. 1-0 Mariners, and that'll bring up catcher Cal Raleigh. Scott Service has been changing up the look of his lineup, just trying to get some guys going, guys at the top of the order who've been struggling, like Julio, now batting 6th the last few days. Trying to take a little pressure off. Here's Cal batting .219, but he's done a lot of damage. 11 home runs, 28 runs batted in. The windup and the pitch to Cal. It's low and outside for ball 1. Man, home plate looks the size of a dessert dish from where we're located, high above the playing surface. Next pitch, swinging a foul tip into the glove of the catcher, Ruiz. The count is even on Cal at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Let me put it in my terms, a big dish of vanilla ice cream.
Oh, man, that sounds good. You had some served tonight at dinner. Look good. Now the 1-1 to Cal, swinging a miss. And the count is now 1-2.
But, you know, when we were kids, space program, manned space program took off. This feels like John Glenn and